What's up YouTube, Capital G here, checking out some brand new Time Thief support that just got revealed coming out of Ignition Assault. You guys know that in the Extra Pack 2019, OCG got the Time Thief archetype and they got a new XC monster, but it looks like Konami wants to go a little further than just that one card. They're giving Time Thief supports in core booster sets, which is awesome, and this new counter trap is absolutely amazing for the Time Thief archetype. Kind of makes it so you can actually play the deck as just kind of a pure Time Thief build. This is Time Thief Retrograde. It is a counter trap that has a hard once per turn on its name. It says that when a spell / trap is activated while you control a Time Thief XC monster, negate that activation, and if you do, attach that card as XC material to a Time Thief XC monster you control. This card is absolutely amazing. And let me start off by saying, generally when Konami reveals an Infernity barrier type counter trap for an archetype like this, one that only covers spells and traps and doesn't negate monster effects, I would almost certainly complain. I did it when the Evil Eye counter trap was revealed, but the reason I'm not going to complain in this instance is because while this card does lose out on versatility, not being able to stop monster effects, it definitely gains a ton of power being able to take the negated card and equip it to one of your XC monsters. Specifically, if you're talking about equipping it to Time Thief Redoer, obviously that is bananas. I mean, taking your opponent's, I guess for instance, something like an Extravagance or their evenly matched, equipping it onto a Redoer, this gives your Redoer a lot more power. We know how powerful Redoer can be when it has a trap or a spell attached to it. If you negate one of those cards, you're either going to be able to detach that spell to draw one, or you're going to be able to detach that trap and have non-targeting removal against a face-up card your opponent has. Not to mention, sometimes just taking your opponent's card and not letting it hit the graveyard is just kind of powerful in its own right. You guys look at a card like Orcish Crescendo. One of the best things about Orcish Crescendo is that it banishes the card it negates, so it makes it a lot harder for your opponent to recover it. Think about if you have something like, I don't know, your opponent's Orcish Crescendo or their Salaman Great Roar. These are cards that in the graveyard can be banished to search cards, or, you know, Roar can reset itself from the graveyard. Just keeping that opponent or keeping that card away from your opponent, that can kind of be like advantage, or at least it can deny advantage in itself, let alone that this card really amplifies just how good Redoer is. This is the type of card, in my opinion, that Time Thieves needed to be an actual standalone deck, and now I kind of feel like you can definitely go first with Time Thief. This also eliminates the luck-based aspect of Time Thief Redoer getting a spell or trap card on it, because it used to just be you'd activate its effect during the draw phase and really just kind of hope for the best, but now you're guaranteed to get a spell or a trap on your Redoer and make the card a lot more powerful. The second card we want to talk about is a quick play for Time Thieves. This is also an Ignition Assault. This is called Time Thief Startup. It is a hard once per turn. Its first effect, and excuse me, it's a quick play spell. Its first effect says special summon one Time Thief from your hand. Second effect says during your main phase you can banish this card from your graveyard. Then target one Time Thief XC monster you control. That's the cost. Attach 3 Time Thief cards, monster, spell, and trap from your graveyard to this target as material. This card, in my opinion, definitely not as good. While it does kind of feel like it can set your Redoer up to be quite powerful, because if you resolve this on a Redoer, the graveyard effect anyways, you could obviously have 3 different types of materials on your Redoer, and obviously that's really powerful. The problem with this card is it requires a whole lot of setup, and it requires you to have a Time Thief trap in the graveyard as well as another Time Thief spell in the graveyard, and it doesn't feel like something that really works in the early game. It probably needs to be used turn 3 or maybe a little further beyond that. I do like the first effect, being able to kind of have like a combo extender, summon one from your hand. I think it would have been a little better if it summoned a Time Thief monster from your deck. Like, that would have been absolutely nuts, especially for the turn 0 plays. But honestly, I really don't think that I would play this card just to get materials on one of my XC monsters, especially now that the counter trap has been revealed. I really feel like people will run that, and they probably in the OCG won't be playing Time Thief Startup. But maybe I'm just wrong about that. This card is just kind of like, I don't know, I think it's below average, but the counter trap is absolutely amazing. Anyways, whatever you guys think of the Time Thief support, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos. Also, watch my JoJo video.